Hello, I'm Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations. Welcome to Saturday Morning Share number 7, where we're going to be making this open top gift box with the Horse and Sleigh bundle and other goodies from the One Horse Open Sleigh suite. So the box is an open top, and I just have some filler in it, cut thin strips of red cardstock, and I've stuck some hot cocoa packets in there, but it could hold lots of different things. So we have a piece of Pool Party 8.5 by 10 3/8, and we're going to do some scoring. So we're on the 8.5 inch side. I'm going to score at 1 3/8 inch on both sides. So I'm just going to flip it over and do the same 1 3/8. Then along the long side, the 10 3/8 inch side, we're going to score at 4.5 and 5 7/8. So now we're just going to do what we usually do when we're making 3D projects. We really want to give those score lines a good crease with our bone folder to help our project go together easier. So this is so easy. You're just going to clip up to the intersecting score line on that center square to make the tab. And then those tabs are going to go inside, and you hold up the back, then flip up the two sides over those tabs and use some adhesive to hold the box together. So you could use Seal or Seal Plus or tear and tape, but I like the give and the little bit of wiggle room I have with the liquid glue to give me time to move it and adjust it if necessary. So now we're going to use a piece of this beautiful One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper that comes in a 6x6 stack. It's got great wintry scenes on one side, and the flip side are some nice prints that you could use almost any time of year for any occasion. And so you can see some of these are just begging for that One Horse Open Sleigh to be put there on front. I love the little footprints on that one. And then just some snowy scenes and wintry scenes that you could use for the holidays or for like a winter birthday would be great. I love these two that remind me of Windberg paintings with the light coming through the windows and in the forest. So we need this piece to be 5 3/4 by 4 5/8. And so I want to keep as much of the scene for the front of the box as possible. So I'm going to do some switcheroo and just decide how I want to trim this off. It takes a few slices, but you can see it's worth a little extra effort to make sure that you can get most of the scene on there. So I know that this is 5 3/4 inches wide, so that's a 6-inch piece of paper, so I know that the height is going to be smaller, but I'm going to go ahead and do that first. And so I don't want to cut off too much of the bottom. So that would slice off right there at the 4 5/8. And I need room for the sleigh. So I'm thinking that if I give it just a little bit more room and go to 4 3/4 of an inch and slice it off, I can take a little bit off the top and it's going to work just fine. And this is an approximate measurement. You'll see later where I have to do some trimming because it's a little bit too tall, but that's okay. I'd rather not cut off too much initially. So there's the bottom strip I've cut off. I can save that for another project. And now I need for it to be 4 5/8. So I need to cut a little bit more. So I'm lining that up on the 4 5/8 mark and going to slice a little bit off the top. So now the height is ready. Let's look at the width. So I need it at 5 3/4. Remember, this is 6 inches wide, and I love those dark mossy meadow trees, and I want to be sure I don't get too close to that little cottage. So I'm going to cut off some of these other trees and put that at 5 3/4 and see where that's going to slice that, and I think it's going to be okay, so I give it a slice. And so now it's ready to go on the box front. So you can see I have a little bit over the top there. Just trim that off. Like I said, you'd rather have it too tall than not tall enough. So now I have a piece of basic white, and I'm using the One Horse Open Sleigh with this couple and stamping it in Memento Black because I'm going to use our Stampin' Blends alcohol markers to color this. So I'm going to start with Pool Party for the sleigh. I'm filling it all in with the light Pool Party very easily. And you see I've sped this up so not take too much time. And then I'm adding some little dark areas to add a little shading and then blending it back with the light Pool Party. Next, since this guy has on a little Santa hat, I decided to put him all in red with his jacket, and then his scarf is in the dark real red. And then I see these two little things down here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe those are snowshoes that I colored in Crumb Cake. So the lady I'm coloring in Shaded Spruce. So I've got my light going in on the bottom part of her coat and doing her cap. And then I'm going to take Petal Pink because that's the only skin tone shade I had available to me here. I don't know where my skin tones are, but so the Petal Pink works. And so I used it on their faces and hand, and then finished coloring her coat in Shaded Spruce. So now I'm on the horse, and I'm using dark petaled path to do the harness and the bit and the reins. And then I'm taking dark pecan pie and doing some coloring on those little, the tail and just some of the special parts of the horse, and doing some shading along the underneath side. So now I'm going to take the light. Oh, that was Pebble Path on the hoofs. I forgot about that. Okay, so now I'm filling in with all of the light pecan pie all over the horse, and you see he's pretty one shaded. You know, you got your dark spots on the mane and on the tail, but what I do to fix that, or to just make it more interesting, is I'm taking my color lifter and I'm just brushing all over that horse and lightening up some areas so he doesn't look so flat. It gives him a little interest with picking up some of that color. I just love using the color lifter for that. So now we're going to cut it out with our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And you can see I have some white areas left that I want to hide, and so they don't show too much in the background. So I'm taking my light Pool Party Stampin' Blends and coloring all of the light parts, the white parts. I want it to try to blend into the background, and you can see that does it nicely. So we're going to put that on with Stampin' Dimensionals, and that part's going to be ready to go. So now I have a 1-inch strip of Pool Party with some Pool Party ink, and I'm stamping my sentiment toward the end, and then going to cut off about a 1/2 inch away from the sentiment and banner cut the ends, attach it with glue and added a little linen bow, and then these really cute adhesive back snowflakes that are in this suite really add to it. And we have a cute gift box ready for the holiday season. Like I said, this one has hot chocolate, but you can put lots of things in there. And so I hope you will give that a try. Save this video so you can make it. And if you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and share with your crafting friends. And I hope you'll visit me at inkinspirations.com, where I have more ideas and tips and videos. And I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.